Now, could Colombia provide an answer to Germany's energy problems? Representatives of the German energy industry seem to think that it might. They're visiting Colombia to discuss how they can collaborate with South America's biggest exporter of coal.
At the foot of Colombia's Cerrejon mountain is the country's largest coal mine, which bears the same name. And while it may represent an energy treasure to some, for many indigenous people and Afro-Colombians in the village Tabaco, the mine is an evil giant, one they have been fighting against for decades. Our lives practically ended with the displacement of Tabaco, because we stopped being a community and became a nomadic community. We only exist on paper. The Tabaco community had to abandon their municipality to make room for the mine. Then the Constitutional Court ordered the Cerrejon mine to rebuild the town and remedy the damage. I can't erase that from my mind, as it's something very, very painful, because they made you destroy your home. Saying it was practically an unforced displacement, because we ourselves were the ones who destroyed our homes. Recent studies show that every $100 earned from the coal, between $160 and $370 in environmental damage is generated. Mine workers are also affected. Their union has reported that several of them died from respiratory diseases. The most relevant diseases among workers are linked to respiratory diseases. There is a problem of chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, evident in many workers, the silicosis issue, the silicoanthracosis issue. The communities of Guajira receive 20 cents for every $100 earned by coal mining. For many, the business doesn't compensate for the environmental, social, and medical damages. Developed European countries such as Germany, Switzerland, and other countries are investing in companies like Cerrejon. They need to be aware that by doing so, they are also supporting global warming. And second, they are supporting a company that violates human rights in Colombia. The company responded to a request for comment from DW with a written statement. The health and safety of each and every employee is a priority. Cerrejon has a health and safety management system aligned with industry best practices. Despite the complaints, the coal continues to flow. A big chunk goes to Europe, which aims to produce green hydrogen in the same region. Social justice leaders suspect the new agreement's effects will be similar to that of the coal mining activities.
Well, let's cross to our Latin America correspondent, Nicole Reese, who is following the German delegation in Colombia. Thanks a lot for joining us. Are the ethical issues that there seem to be surrounding mining in Colombia likely to come up in these discussions between the German energy industry and Colombia's government?
Well, these issues that we've just heard about in this report actually took a backseat in today's meetings. This was all about the green hydrogen and how it can be produced and also sent over to Germany. I did, however, manage to speak to the German Energy Agency, and they said that there is a feeling that there is pressure on the German government about these issues, the environmental issues and also the health damages that coal mining does, and that Germany probably needs to look into how these relationships, new and old, with other energy partners do look like in detail and what they can demand from them as a return. For example, making sure that people who are living around these areas have some compensation. I also spoke to Colombia's mine minister, Irene Vélez, and she said that the responsibility for compensating people and making sure that environmental damage is sort of, regulated, again, lies in the hands of the company. companies, that the government is taking rather an observing position there and is trying to monitor and make sure that they comply with whatever they said that they would make better afterwards after exploiting this soil. So today in these meetings, this was actually not the hot topic, but it also made people a bit uncomfortable to talk about it, because coal mining is one big thing in Colombia. Coal is one of the biggest export sectors here, and it's not going to be just gone tomorrow.
So how big a role is Colombia actually expected to play in Germany's shift, particularly its shift away from Russian gas and its energy future plans?
Well, there's a lot of things in works. German engineers and also the German energy companies that were there today want to make sure that Colombia is equipped enough to actually produce green hydrogen. Colombia is very interested in these investments. It will require billions of US dollars or even euros from different countries to get this operation started, because they think until 2030 they could manage to actually send over green hydrogen to countries like Germany. On the other hand, Germany has been shopping around for green hydrogen, and there are also connections to the Arab countries, other countries on the African continent. Spain has just announced that they want to make sure that by 2030 they can deliver green hydrogen through a pipeline through the center of Europe. So there seems to be a lot of options on the table, just none of them at the moment is really there. So we need to have a look into the future, into the next years, to see who's actually going to make it and what partnership is going to be the strongest. But what is important for Germany and other countries right now is to have diversity in partners that deliver energy to them.
OK, Nicole Rees in Cartagena for us. Thank you very much.